Hi, everyone. I'm Kathleen Krilanovich. I'm a senior research analyst here at Cushman and Wakefield, Orlando. I'm here with Chris Owen, Florida research manager. He's been with us for about 5 years now. And Chris, I'm kind of just interested. What's been happening in the market since you've been here?
Thank you for having me here, Kat. You know, one of the things that's been really interesting to see over the last 5 years here in Florida has been the level of development that's happened, both on the office and industrial side. From an industrial standpoint, you know, with the rise of e-commerce and large-scale warehouse distribution companies needing space, you know, we've seen a spurt of development and new construction throughout South Florida, as well as all the way up the I-75 corridor through Tampa, Lakeland, and Orlando. On the office side, you know, South Florida came out of the gate, you know, very strong with several new developments that have, you know, are at different stages of pre-leasing. Brickell City Center just got completely 100% leased. And what we're also seeing now is a growth in new construction and new developments in Orlando, Tampa, and Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I know a little bit about that stuff. It's really exciting to see us breaking ground. That kind of leads me to my next question. For the most part, Cushman and Wakefield data for Florida states that most major markets have reached peak rents. However, we've lagged in areas, Orlando in particular. What's the reason as to why? You
know, with respect to peak rents, you know, that's something that we've looked at throughout the state of Florida. And one of the commonalities that we see is the initiation of new construction that really kind of drives rent growth in the specific markets. For South Florida, you know, Miami's taken the bulk of new construction, but that has had a spillover effect within Broward and Palm Beach. For Central and North Florida, we're just now starting to see new construction, especially on the speculative basis. And I believe most landlords right now are taking a wait and see attitude before they raise rents on current properties.
2017 was a hard year for natural disasters across the board. Florida in particular, we've been impacted by two, both Maria and Irma, who hit us directly. What types of effects are we experiencing now? And do you anticipate that that's going to impact us, you know, going into 2018?
You know, with respect to Hurricane Irma, I think, you know, a lot of the credit has to go to the state and local governments for preparedness and also the business community. I mean, you know, it was a direct hit. It came up through the middle of the state and caused significant damage. But from a business interruption standpoint, we were down maybe for 2 days before the majority of the state was back to work as normal. You know, with respect to Hurricane Maria, a lot of the initial damage occurred down in South Florida with some flooding, some minimal damage from winds. But, you know, what we're going to be seeing over the next 12 and 18 months is a net migration of people from Puerto Rico over to the state of Florida, as well as other markets throughout the nation. This is going to have a dramatic effect on those markets which have significant Puerto Rican populations, including Central Florida, Kissimmee, and areas of Tampa. You know, this could have a beneficial effect on some labor shortages within those areas. On the flip side, we're also going to see some price pressures on construction materials and, you know, construction labor, because some of that's going to be shifted over to the island. But, you know, overall, I think that, you know, considering the extent of what could have happened, Florida came through wonderfully this hurricane season.
Awesome. And I mean, lastly, you know, we're coming up on the end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about some of the trends throughout the year. So going into 2018, what are you most excited to see statewide?
Well, that's a loaded question, Kat. I mean, there's a lot of things that everybody should be looking forward to. But one of the things that I'm kind of excited about is to see any type of new construction that gets off the ground. You know, in Lakeland as well as Tampa, we've seen significant amount of activity throughout 2017. And, you know, there are a couple projects that are looking to break ground before the end of the year. On the office side, you know, I see a lot of tenants that are circling the markets, looking for some space, and some of them may even actually sign on some of the proposed projects that are looking to get some pre-leasing before they can get construction started. So those are the two areas where I'm really kind of excited about towards the end of the year.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to speaking with you again in the future. Definitely want to bring you back, because when all things real estate, Chris Owen's your man. Stay tuned for more episodes on hot topics with our Cushman and Wakefield professionals.